In this tutorial, I'm going to go over importing contacts to Envoke. This is going to cover the majority of cases, but there are some situations where you have some more advanced importing needs, especially if the spreadsheet that you're importing has a very advanced, complex structure. For those cases, you want to go to our support documents, and if I just look for import, look at this page, this will have all the information, even for advanced use cases, but in this video we're going to cover only the ones that apply to the majority of our customers. Probably 2/3 of the way is how far we're going to go in this video, and the rest down here is going to be all advanced details, and there are some more videos as well for importing with different data structures. Additionally, if you plan to automate importing into Envoke using integrations, you can find information about that as well. Just look for integrations, and that's going to be our main page. This will outline different options of how you can get data flowing into the account automatically, either with the use of APIs or with our automated universal CSV file sync option. And finally, before we get into importing, I would strongly recommend that you watch our other video about data structure in your account, grouping and categorizing your contacts using a combination of tags and subscriptions, because that will guide how you're importing the contacts into the account. All right, so let's get started. We're going to start at contacts, go to import, and upload a file which needs to be saved into a CSV format. So I'm going to upload a sample file here, and then I'm taken to this next page. The first step is a preview. This is the place where you want to check to make sure this doesn't look all scrambled. This looks like a nice setup, looks like a spreadsheet, so everything looks good. I can continue. If this is misaligned, you want to fix the file. That means if something is corrupted. Do not proceed if the fields are not aligned correctly. The only required field to bring in is import. Everything else is up to you. You can bring in as many fields as you like, and the order of the fields, it doesn't matter. Next, you want to map the fields. So you want to select the fields from your file and map them to a field in the Envoke database. So for example, the field called fname in my file should be added to the field called first name in Envoke, and so on. If you don't want to bring in a field, you can just select skip this field. Okay, so that takes us to our third and final step, and this is where we're assigning these contacts to various tags and subscriptions, and this is where we're setting up consent. So that's why I said that video about subscriptions and tags and contact segmentation is a good one, because that will describe the differences between subscription tags, and you have some examples as well, so you will know a little bit better of how to use these here. So this is where you select which subscription or subscriptions the list of contacts you're importing should be added to. So in this example, I'm going to select these are going to be our newsletter subscribers, and you can also assign one or more tags to the contacts you're importing at this next drop down. So I'm going to select these are going to be our members who are also taking an ESL course. So I'm just making things up here. You get the idea. So that's all here. So I just added subscriptions and tags. Then I'm going to select the consent status for these contacts. Did they explicitly request to be emailed, or maybe there is some kind of an implied relationship and that's why you're sending them messages. So you need to select the consent status that applies to this list. I'm going to select express consent for this example. If you're not sure what all this means, there are some examples in brackets, but this link will take you to a page that has more information about exactly what these consent statuses mean and some examples and use cases of when they should or shouldn't be used. So I'm going to select the consent status here and decide whether or not I'd like to overwrite consent that may exist already. So if this is not your first import, if there are contacts in Envoke already, you might need to overwrite the existing consent, but most of the time you want to keep it unchanged so that way the import doesn't alter those settings that already exist in the account. Then I'm going to describe how this consent was obtained. Not what I want to do with it, but how these contacts gave me permission to send them emails. So this could be, contacts signed up on our website form, or these contacts agreed to receive emails at a trade show, or these contacts signed up at another provider that you're migrating from to Envoke and that forum 2 years ago, or whatever the description is, so we know how this consent was provided. This is not shared with contacts. This is here for record keeping, to be the first part of an audit trail memory tracking consent changes for contacts. Two other things. One is duplicate contacts. If there's any duplication, contacts will be merged based on their email field, so you will not end up with duplicate records. Anybody with the same email will be merged into a single contact record. And lastly, if there are contacts already existing in your Envoke database, and some of those contacts may have unsubscribed, and you re-import that same contact, that unsubscribe status will not be overwritten. That's going to be protected to make sure you don't inadvertently resubscribe contacts who are already unsubscribed. All right, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, again, just refer to that import document or feel free to ask support and we'll be happy to help you out.